guys? Here you are again, back at it to create another role play session. And this time we're going to be creating a wilderness for our characters to explore. Previously, we had created two characters. We created Willoughby and Theo. Willoughby, Theo. We created a dungeon for them to explore. But we didn't create a wilderness. And that's what we're going to do right now. I don't know if you can see this little, I guess, we're going to hide the chat actually, because I'd like to see my whole screen here. That little red hut thing is going to be the name of our starting town. So I'm going to need this black guy. I'd also like to set the mood, I guess. There you go. I'm actually going to have to do this, aren't I? Yep. There we go. Nothing says D&D, like a candle, right? Spoiler, a candle does not make it D&D. It just makes it nice. Anyway, our town here, we're going to call it, I'm on the spot, aren't I? We're going to call it Helmshire. So how do we determine what's in Helmshire? Well, I made this little table here. I don't know if you can read it, but essentially what's going to happen is every time we move into a new square, we're going to explore it by drawing a card. We're going to refer to this chart. If we draw a number card, there's no change, but depending on the suit, there might be something there. So we draw another card to check, or we roll a die or something. I didn't think of that. But, you know, essentially what happens is, if there's no change in the terrain, there might be a feature, there might be a hazard. But if there is a change in the terrain, if there's a face card, we change the terrain to one of those. So, why don't we start off by saying that Helmshire is in a grassland. We're going to have a party. Here's our little party member. And we're going to start off. So we need a rumor or something to chase after, right? And I guess the rumor that they heard was that the Temple of the Sun lay somewhere in this wilderness. Why don't we generate around our town? Why don't we do that? So we're going to shuffle this. There we go. And we're going to draw a card. So it's a face card, and there's no change. There's a number card, no change. So we'll start at here. Just some grasslands. Let's go to the next one. Jack of Diamonds. What is the Jack of Diamonds? Jack of Diamonds is grassland, so no change. What's next? Five of Clubs, no change. So far. Jack of Spades. This is a mountain. Okay, so our little town has a mountain right next to it. Now, normally, we'd stick with the mountain as our base terrain. But since we're figuring out the area around the town, we're going to stick with the grassland. So, three. Three of spades, no change. And let's do this. Six of spades, no change. So the one big thing about our town is that it's right next to a mountain. So what's in the mountain? Well, clearly there might be a mine, or else why else would a town build by a mountain, right? Let's do that. Let's put a little mine there. So if our rumor says that it's somewhere over here, why don't we figure that out by exploring? Now, let's take a look at the rules of OSC. Old school essentials. What do you have to tell me? Whoopsie doodle. We are going wilderness adventuring. So let's see. What's movement like? The number of miles a character can travel in a day is determined by dividing their base movement rate by 5. For example, a character whose base movement rate is 120 could move up to 24 miles a day. So let's see. We'll just say that our characters all have a base of 120, because I don't see a reason why to complicate these things. I guess the rules would give me a specific number, but let's go look at that. Now I thought about it, and now I want an answer. So, what is everyone's base movement rate? I must know. I guess we're gonna have to look at the back, huh? Let's see. Index of monsters, index of magic items, index of spells. Index of tables, let's see. Okay, so these are spells. I want an index of key terms. So I'm guessing I'm not going to find that here. Let's see. Is there movement here? Movement rate. Right. So our movement rate is based off of what kind of armor we're wearing. Let's go take a look at that. We'll put these cards to the side for now. Let's see what kind of armor our boys are wearing. So I can already see that Willoughby has chainmail, which means that's going to slow the party down. Let's go back and look at the rules again. Rules, they do say right here, heavy armor, which is metal armor, moves at a base rate of 60. So if we divide that by 5, I think the number is right there, 20. Let's go take a look at what it says. And if we have a question, we can go look. Here we go. 120 can move 24 miles a day. So this is incorrect right here. 120 is 24. So 60 divided by what? 5. Okay, so 60 divided by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 12 miles a day. Okay. So let's look at this again. If we go at the speed of the slowest character because we don't want to be left behind, then they can travel 2 hexes in one day unless he takes off his armor. And I'm thinking he might do that because there's no sense in marching in heavy armor. So if light armor is leather, and that's the next heaviest, 90 divided by 5. What is that? It's not. Oh Lord, I am so bad at math. Holy shit. I think it's a little less though. I'm literally gonna have to do math on stream just to figure this out. Holy shit. All right, I see you. I see you. So, I am ashamed of how bad I am at math, but this is just how it's going to have to be. $17 miles a day? That can't be right. Can it? Why don't we just round it up to 16 miles a day? Round it down. 16 miles a day. This may be wrong because I did not prepare the numbers correctly beforehand, but we're going to work with it. So we can move 16 miles, and each one of these is a 6-mile hex. We can go just about 3 hexes. We'll say 18. 18 seems about right. 18 miles a day. That seems just about right. So 3 hexes a day. We want to go exploring towards the south. Why don't we roll to figure out if they're heading in the right direction? So let's take a look at our stats here. We'll say that Theo, who is our half-elf, is overconfident. I'm going to write that in to our character here. A character flaw is very good. Overconfident. And even though he probably shouldn't be leading the party, guess what he's doing? He's leading the party. So we'll roll a wisdom score, a wisdom roll, try to get underneath it. And if he rolls underneath it, he guides us fine. And if he doesn't, we get lost. And that looks like a 10, so we're lost. He's going in the wrong direction right away. We'll say he wanted to head towards that way. So if we use a D6 and go clockwise, 1, 2, 3, he moves there, and that took him, what is it? He can move 18 miles in one day, and that's 3 hexes. So it took him 1/3 of the day, of the daylight hours, to get over there. And if we have, 10 hours, 12 hours of daylight before midnight, which is generous, Took him around 4 hours to figure out that he is lost. We'll just say 2 hours per hex at the speed they're going at. So at that point, Theo might suggest that she takes the lead, since Willoughby took off his armor and probably is a little frazzled, feeling vulnerable and making a wrong decision. So we'll let Theo take the lead. And exactly 11. So she's going where we need to go. We'll go here. And since we're here, we're going to generate that. Let's take a look at our table here. 10 of spades, which is no change. No change in terrain. And you can move one more hex before the end of the day. So we're going to generate these two here. Which is an 8 of clubs, which is no change in terrain. The Queen of Spades. Okay. So now we're looking at the Queen of Spades. Someone's joined my channel. Let's see this chat. No one's here yet talking, but you're watching, so I appreciate you. So what's the Queen of Spades? Water. There's water right here. All right. Why don't we say that this is like a small lake or something? We'll just put a symbol of water for now, until we figure out what we want to do. So it's evening now, and they should probably want to camp before embarking further. I think that's what I would do. We'll roll a die, and on a 1, an encounter happens. That doesn't count because it was on its edge. No encounter happens for the night. They're fine. Probably screwing up these rules here, but I don't give half a crap. We're just doing this to create a wilderness. So it's day 2 of our adventure, and I don't remember buying food for these guys. So they probably need to forage. Since neither of them have anything that would allow them to forage better, I think that the rules say that they only can find food on a 1 or 2, I think. Let's go look. Let's go look. See what the book says. Fantastic artwork, by the way. Absolutely stellar. This is dungeon adventuring, which we're not interested in, but we are interested in wilderness adventuring. Okay, so we're gonna forage. So both of them have a 1 in 6 chance. Let's just roll 2 dice. If any of them come up on 1, we have food. No. They are starving. They made a poor choice to go adventuring without any food. We will put 1 token on each of them just to show that they're starving for now. And if they get up to what? You can go pretty long without food, I think, but not without water. If they can't manage to get some food or water, we'll just say that these are exhaustion levels, right? They don't go away unless you take care of what gave you the exhaustion. And in their case, it's not eating. We're going to drink water, though, at the edge of the water. Let's roll an encounter, see if anything happens at the edge of the water. Nothing happens. They're drinking water at the edge of this whatever lake source is, and they got to figure out where they want to go again. So why don't we head back towards town so they can buy some food? I think that Theo has some food, so let's head back. We're going to generate here, and since it's a new day, we're going to shuffle and get new cards. We'll make that the rule. You shuffle once it's a new day. We can say that. What is right there? King of Clubs. The King of Clubs is a desert. Why is there a desert right there? That seems very odd. But we're going to roll with it. Or maybe it's a beach connected to this water, or sandy front. Who knows? We're going to go back to town, and we're definitely going to buy food. Because an adventure overland with no food sounds like idiocy. Which, since Theo is so overconfident, doesn't seem too far off course. Have you ever gone on a road trip with someone who thought they know everything? Yeah, it didn't go so well, did it? We'll get 2 weeks of iron rations. We'll do that, which is 30 gold. So we're at 28 gold, and each of them has food for a week. So 7 iron rations. 7 iron rations. All right. Rations. Who cares? Y'all understand what I'm trying to say, I hope. So instead of go out, they're going to rest and they're going to eat and they're going to get rid of these exhaustion tokens. And it's a new day. And they're in town, so there's no need to roll. And they have a better idea of what's in the area. So let's head out again. We're going to explore maybe a total of, let's see, let's set a goal for ourselves today. 4 seems like hardly enough. Let's add 1 more. 7. 7 more hexes before today's session is over. We'll do that. Okay. So Theo's leading the way once more. Let's see if she gets lost for today. 18, she definitely gets lost. Let's say she wanted to go this way. So she goes this way. It's fine. But she's still lost. And she finds her way. Okay. So we're going to go into this desert because we're curious. We're going to roll an encounter. On 1 or 2, nothing happens. But we're going to generate terrain here. And we're going to explore more of this world. So, what's here? 6 of spades is no change in terrain. That means that it's desert, since we're starting on desert. What's over here? The King of Hearts. The King of Hearts is the fungal forest. What on earth is going on here? And we're going to go to the last one, which is the 4 of diamonds, which is a desert with a hazard. So we didn't discuss how we're going to figure out if we confirm a hazard. We're going to flip another card, and if it's the same suit, it's a hazard. It's not. We're probably not going to get much hazards this way, but when we do, it'll be special. Okay, so we discovered 3 hexes. We're going to remove this. We have to pick a direction to go in now. And I think that Theo doesn't really feel comfortable going into that fungal forest. She's going to head down here. We're going to roll for an encounter. On a 1 or 2, an encounter happens. We're safe. But we are going to generate 3 more hexes. 3 of clubs, which means more desert. This will be right here. 7 of hearts. There's a feature here, so let's flip another one. No, the suit doesn't change. So this one is also a desert. And the 10 of spades, this is also a desert. Okay, so our wilderness is turning out to be a big desert region. We explored 3 more hexes, and I feel like this is woefully inadequate. We need 1 more travel. And I might add another thing with hexes. Total of 5. 5 more hexes to explore, because I'm kind of having fun with this. They have 1 more hex to travel, I think. 1, 2, 3. No, that was the end right there. Okay, so they're camping. We need to check for encounters on a 1 or 2. Encounters happen. Nothing happens during the night. It's day 2, day 3 actually, of their adventure. And they each need to eat. So we're at 6 rations for each player. And since we have a new day, we're going to shuffle these cards away and get brand new ones. Okay. Theo, we need you to figure out if we're lost today. We are totally lost. And we want to move this way. 1, 2, 3. End up going into the mountain. And we're going to roll an encounter on a 1 or 2 or 3. Encounter happens. No encounter in the mountains. But that took up our whole day, I think. I think traveling to a mountain is rough terrain. Let's take a look at the rules here. Let's see. What does it say about overland travel? Here we go. So 33% slower over broken lands, which is deserts and forests and hills, but 50% slower over mountains. So if we could move 3, we could move 1.5, which means we ended right there. It was too much of a journey. And they have to rest for the night. Checking for encounters again. I'm taking it. There's our encounter. So let's take a look here. What kind of cool ass fight are we going to get into? So we're going to need an 8-sided die. And we're going to need a 12-sided die, I think. Yeah. So we're in mountains. We're going to roll the 8-sided in the mountain. 4, which is a flyer, table B. And we're in the mountains. We roll a d12 for flyer. A manticore. Oh, shit. That mountain has a manticore. You know what? We'll say that in the nighttime, while Willoughby was taking guard in the mountains, he noticed something in the mines there, scowling about, skulking about, which was a manticore. We'll write that down in our notes here. A manticore sighting. This is bad news for our town. This is not a good thing. Day 3. Manticore. Sighting. We'll say it flew overhead. Let's pick a direction that it flew in. We'll say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It flew that way. Or it came from that way and was flying that way. So it was probably over here in the desert somewhere. If it flew from over here that way, well, you know what? We picked it here with 6. Let's see where it was going to. So 1, 2, 3, 4. It came from here and flew straight down. Right? Like that. Somewhere in this desert. Somewhere in this desert is a manticore lair. This is bad news. We have to keep that in mind too. It's day number 4. Our guys have 5 food left over. And they're going to go towards where they saw the manticore fly. Because surely there's not going to be any danger in the path that it flew in. No one wants to mess with a manticore. That's Willoughby's thinking. And Theo kind of rolls her eyes. But she figures if she doesn't stick by him, he's going to get in trouble anyway. So let's figure this out. No one gets lost for the day. And we're traveling. 1 and 2. We're going to generate these 3 terrains right here. Let's flip over 1, 2 of spades, which is more desert. Seven of diamonds. Might be a hazard there. King of clubs, no hazard. And 6 of spades, more desert. And we're going to travel 1 more. So we are going to finish our session right here unless something happens. 10 of hearts, there might be a feature. No feature. So there is more desert. 9 of clubs, more desert. 2 of hearts, there might be a feature. And we finally have a confirmation. There's a feature here. What is a feature? Well, it's not a dangerous thing, but it is something of interest. Why don't we check out one of our generators here? We'll take this guy. Tome of Adventure Design. Let's see. We'll get rid of these cards here. Let's take a look. Desert, 295. Let's go look at that. 295. This is pretty far from any body of water, so this is a montane desert. Oh, here are the features. Okay, let's get ourselves the percentage dice. That is a 37. And according to this, there is an exotic river. Most rivers are watersheds which receive little moisture. However, in some cases, a river with a very strong source, such as the Nile or the Colorado River, moves through a desert. There's a big river here. Okay. A big river goes through here. Let's draw that out. Let's see, it's like this. We'll do like this. We'll cut through a couple things here. It makes sense for our town to be close by to a river, because historically, most towns are close to sources of water. So the major feature of our world right here that we found is this river which cuts through the desert. This river needs a name. I didn't come up with a name beforehand for this river. I'm going to make one up on the spot. This is the Saline River. Okay. I think we can move one more. We're going to go to the river and we're going to check for encounters. On a 1 or a 2 or a 3, we have an encounter. No encounter. We're safe. Kind of boring though, but we're safe. Let's generate terrain. Jack of Heart. This is a forest. Okay. Forest. Okay, and our starting thing is a desert. So this is also desert. Why is there forest right there? And the last one, Jack of Diamonds, grasslands. Okay. That should be about it for today, guys. Let's take a look at what we've done, what we've explored. So if we take a look here, seems we've explored quite a bit of this map. We haven't found that dungeon yet, though. So that's going to be exciting when we finally see that. I'll say the next session, once we've explored a total of 6 more hexes, we've found the location. And I'm thinking that Manticore might show up as well. We had a Manticore sighting. I'm going to think about that, because that's an interesting encounter that we have. Somewhere in this desert is a Manticore lair. And we'll figure that out next time we stream. Until then, thanks for tuning in. Bye.